Hey guys, and welcome back. This week we are doing a Horde multiplayer based build tutorial. Okay, to start things off, we'll be using concrete first. I just count 7 blocks here, starting from the road, just to give some distance. So this will be 15 blocks. Going around, we have 10 here. Then we'll have 9 here. 7. 7 again. Now that the layer of the base is done, we're going to go around a second time, making a double layer of concrete for the walls. Now we're going to come in with cobblestone blocks and do 4 more layers. Next, we're going to be adding in stairs, using a different style I don't typically go for. I didn't want a very sharp angle for the entrance, and I think the typical stairs I go for do have a sharp angle, so I think these stairs work out well for what I wanted, and I will have every shape used in this build in the description. I'm gonna fill in the floor real quick and be back. Okay, now onto the second level. The second level will be 5 blocks high and will have a balcony that wraps around the entire build with 2 entrances. But first, let's start with the walls. Now before I start the balcony, let's give this build some character. The balcony will be made from wood, steel for the railings, and steel for the brackets underneath. Make sure when placing the shape down, you're still able to place the brackets underneath, line it up with the wall, and build too wide all around. So I'm using the bars for the railing, and I'm using the advanced option. To get this look, if you're on PC, hit R, wait for the menu to pop up, go to advanced, and left click until you find the right rotation you want. I like the look of them, and I also like the corners are different. Just adds more character. You could even go too high if you wanted. It does seem a little low, but it's just a nice safety net so you don't have to worry about falling, you know? Okay, so now time for the bracket. Each side will be done differently because each side is a different length. I like to keep a 2 distance in between, so I'm going to skip the first block and place on the second block, and then I'm going to count 2 in between before placing another one down, and just continue that until you're done. And now for the third and final level to this build. It is another 5 blocks high, which makes this build a total of 16 blocks. It has a balcony at the front and back and easy access to the second level for those emergency encounters. I have everything drawn out how I wanted to build this thing, and I still don't understand my notes. I plan to have an entrance here, so I'm gonna go back and do that now. So let's go ahead and do the back balcony first. This one is the only one that is different, and I did that on purpose just to give variety to this build. And I think this shape that I chose right here makes this build look a little medieval, which I'm cool with. So since I'm not placing it on top of the balcony, it's not getting the full support it needs. So we're going to need to add support here, and I'm going to be using the plate half shape. I'm going to go ahead and do that before this thing collapses. So for the front balcony, I originally had this idea, the same as the back, but I changed it later because I end up building two balconies side by side but not connected, and I felt funny about that, so I end up connecting them together, making a much bigger balcony. I'm showing this because you end up seeing it later and me changing the whole design of the balcony. And also, forgot to do one thing here. So now we are working on the inside of this build. I count 7 blocks between here before I start the stairs. Just some minor adjustments. There we go. Now we can continue. We're gonna do something different here that I've never done before, and let me know what you think of it. I'll take all the headspace I can get. So this feature is optional. I mean, everything is optional, but you don't have to do this if you don't want to. But it's just one of those added security things, I guess. But this is where the workbench, forge, cement mixer, etc. would go. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So while using steel, I'm creating a double layer wall with the shape bar and the TRELLIS diamond just to give it a cool, unique wall design. Let me know if you would do this just for added protection. So with the way I placed the second floor down, I'm unable to place the two shapes all the way up. So we're gonna fill in the gap with the shape plate corner. So this kind of worked out perfectly with it being centered, but I'm gonna make a spot to have access to where the workbench, forge, etc. is going to be, and I'm going to use the trellis square shape for the ladder. And over here, we're going to have a double staircase and build the other balcony. This is what I was talking about, the one I end up connecting the two together. This is where the walkway will be that I was talking about for easy access down if need be. So I just filled in the roof off camera. I was going to put farm plots up here, but after doing some research, I read that farm plots can't be higher than 2 blocks or they will not work. But at this point in the build, I thought my game was broken. It's honestly been a minute since I played last. I had no idea what was happening. Nothing was growing. Some spots where I placed the farm plots down showed red, but nothing was growing. I even sped up the time to see if it'll grow. Nothing. So I just left it alone, and it eventually started to grow. Now, maybe they slowed down the time with the crops, but I certainly remember it being a lot faster. But this was my idea for the garden. It was cute, but I felt like I could do more. So then I came up with this. Let me show you how I built this. Start by facing the build at the back. You're going to then count 2 blocks over on both sides, then walk back until you feel comfortable enough with the distance. Place how many you'd like. I place 4 with a space of 2 blocks in between, which will give you 5 rows of 4. Next is the dew collectors. You're going to reference the farm plot and move one over in. Do that on both sides. You should be able to place down 3. Next is the fence. For spacing, make sure you're in the middle of the 2 and 3 farm plot. You're going to start with the trellis square block and make sure the box is out, if that makes sense. It's the only way the top will work. The fence is 3 blocks high And you just do the same thing on the other side. Now to complete the fence, you're going to place down 6 trellis squares, then 11, then 15, and again 11 and 6. We're also going to double layer it as well. I typically use the shape door trim 1M, but I also found this shape. It's called door trim top, and I love it because it's slightly taller than everything and it just completes the look. I just wanted to say, for those who are interested, I am in the works of making my own Discord channel. I'm just finalizing some of the details, but I'll let you know when it's ready. So if you want to share your builds, ask questions, or simply just hang out and have a good time, all is welcome. I hope you enjoyed the build and look forward to more. Thanks for watching.